Hello, I'm John Stewart. I'm the author of Evolution's Arrow and of the Evolutionary Manifesto. I've never met anyone who's put time and effort into studying the evolutionary worldview and who has regretted doing so. This is because it's an extremely powerful and motivating worldview. It can go a long way to answering the big existential questions that face all of us and humanity in general. Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going to? And perhaps most importantly, what should we do with our lives? How does the evolutionary worldview do this? Well, first, it can explain how we got to where we are. It identifies the processes that have produced life on this planet and humanity, leading forward from the Big Bang. And furthermore, it shows that an understanding of these processes can explain why we are the way we are, why we have the desires that we have, the motivations, the emotions, why our societies are organised the way they are, and why we have the political systems that are organised the way we are. The evolutionary processes that have brought us into existence have shaped these things. Secondly, the evolutionary worldview is significant because it identifies that we are evolutionary work in process. We are not an endpoint. There is nothing particularly special about the way we are at the moment, the way our social systems are organised, or our goals and our motivations. Like all the species that have come before us, these will change, they will evolve. Perhaps the most significant thing about humanity is not what we are, but what we can become. And the third thing about the evolutionary worldview that's particularly significant is that it can explain what we have to do to be successful in evolutionary terms in the future. It identifies what the next big steps in the evolution of life on this planet are and have to be if life on this planet is to continue to evolve successfully. And it can do this because evolution has a trajectory. Evolution is going somewhere. And what we can do is locate ourselves along this trajectory and then see what we have to do next to remain aligned with the trajectory. And when we carry out that exercise, we see that we, humanity, on this planet are in a very significant position in the evolution of life on this planet. Because what we see when we understand the trajectory of evolution is that evolution will take life to the stage it's reached on this planet of its own accord. The processes of natural selection and so on will drive evolution along its trajectory. However, when it reaches this point, it will only proceed further successfully if it is now driven intentionally. That's the point we've reached on this planet. It's a point where, for evolution to proceed, an organism must emerge that awakens to the nature of the evolutionary processes in which it's embedded. An organism must emerge that begins to see that evolution has a trajectory and that there is a role for it in intentionally driving that process forward. And the organism must then, if evolution is to continue to be successful on that planet, commit to advancing the evolutionary process and doing what is necessary to ensure that it will survive and thrive into the future. So this is the point that humanity is at in the evolution of life on this planet. It is the beginning of the transition to intentional evolution. And by studying the evolutionary worldview at this point in the evolution of life on our planet, you are participating in this significant evolutionary transition. You are participating in the awakening of humanity to the nature of the evolutionary process and to humanity's role in that evolutionary process. So I hope you are going to enjoy your study of the evolutionary worldview. Good luck.